Yeah, stay there. I'll go and get ice cream. There you go.
Good people of Warwick, the combined forces of John de Vere, Earl of Oxford, and myself, Richard Neville, Earl of Warwick, they marched south to London, and there we intend to take the Yorkist King Edward from the throne and replace him with the good Lancastrian King, King Henry!
Good people, we are also here to bid you farewell. For myself, the Earl of Oxford, and Lord Neville will be leaving Warwick Castle to join our forces in battle. But rest assured, we will fight. We will defeat Edward's army, for we fight for you, the people of Warwick! Silence!
William Stanley, what brings you here?
I'm here for you, Neville. My armies have breached your gates, and in a snap of my fingers, all of the men will be taken from this audience and put to work in our fields. All the women, you'll be taken from this audience and put where you belong, in our kitchens. There is no one here to protect you, so I'm here to put you to the sword, turncoat.
If that is a challenge to a duel for the people of Warwick, then I gladly accept.
No, Lord Neville. Let me take him. I will take great pleasure in cutting him down for this intrusion.
Very well, Neville. If I must first run through your lapdog, then so be it. But you're next.
Do your worst, York, for I will do mine. For Warwick and for Lancaster! Come on.
Your turn, Neville.
On your feet, Oxford, and do him!
Is that the best you can do, Stanley? Come on. You are down, York. Do you yield?
Never!
Very well.
Wait! I yield.
Huzzah! A victory for Lancaster! Now, wasn't that tremendously exciting? That, ladies and gentlemen, is called a fighting night show. You can see them anywhere. But they started here over 30 years ago. They are tremendously exciting, but unfortunately, they are also a tissue of lies. Let me present to you the first lie. What's this? Yes, it is a shield, but listen. It's a shield that is made out of metal. Do you know who used metal shields on medieval battlefields? Hollywood! They never existed. Why? Because they're useless, that's why. The transfer of energy through that shield numbs your arm in seconds. If you use a shield at all, make it out of wood, gently curved, cover it in leather, so it absorbs the blow. So no metal shields.
And sword fighting. Clashing blades again and again and again. There's your second line. That didn't happen either. A sword is razor sharp. If you were to clash it with another blade, you would destroy your sword in seconds. And when it comes to sword fighting, you don't try and hit the man's sword. You try and hit the man. Otherwise, well, it's just medieval Morris dancing, isn't it? Let us dance! With swords! And another lie. The duration of a sword fight. They don't last 5 to 10 minutes. With acrobatics, jumping on tables, swinging from chandeliers. No. Sword fighting is quick. And most of the time, only lasting a few seconds. 10 seconds is long for a sword fight.
And the weight of the weapons too. You see these men, bigger than us, struggling to lift those blades like they weigh 8 or 9 pounds. It's not true. There isn't one of these, the single-handed arming sword in any collection worldwide, that weighs any more than 2 3/4 pounds.
That is lighter than most samurai swords. But this is not a tool. This is a lethal surgical instrument in the right hands. I was reading the other night an account of the Battle of Evesham. A knight writes down what happened to him the day before in that battle. It goes something like this. In the press of the battle, I came upon a soldier. He had murder in his eye. My sword struck him at the base of his neck. It then passed diagonally all the way through his body to just here, and then the top half of his body hinged off like a door. Excellent! But it was the next bit that got me. It went on to say, the soldier took no further part in the battle that day. That day? It was in 2 halves. A miracle to science. But by 1471, the period of the Kingmaker, when this castle ruled England, this sword is redundant on the battlefield. If you're going to take a sword to war, it isn't one of these, it's one of those.
Now this is the weapon of the 15th century knight, the hand and a half sword. Now you've been given your first one of these at the age of 6 years old. That's right, you've been given your first sword at the age of 6, and you use it to practice with every single day. Now, you'd practice with one of these. This here is a cutting post. And it would be here where you'd practice your blade speed and your footwork. And you'd finish every single training session by cutting that post into 2. Now, these posts were chosen because they are the same strength as human bone. So when you're practicing to cut that post into 2, you are practicing to cut off a man's arm. So that's what I'm going to do for you all here today. I am going to cut Sir Lewis's arm off. Well, I'm going to cut this post into 2. Okay.
Stop! What? Ladies and gentlemen, there is another lie. We are not really medieval knights. No, in fact, I am a 50-year-old diabetic, and I picked these 2 up at the job centre. No, we're not medieval knights, but we do consider ourselves modern knights. But we have a disadvantage. Ancient knights practiced since they were 6 years old. We didn't have that advantage. And because of that, we cannot guarantee that Jay will chop through that post. So ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you need to really get behind him. Let's cheer Jay on. Come on!
Come on, Jay.
Come on, Jay.
Chop through that post. Come on.
Yes! Excellent. Like a red hot, nice root batter.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Now what you've just seen is the power of the sword. Very strong, very scary stuff. But a knight needs much more than just a strong weapon. He needs accuracy and control to ensure that each time he releases his blade in attack, his cut will be a lethal one. So lads, how can I demonstrate accuracy and control? How about fruit? Nice idea, nice juicy apples. Right, okay, so what should we put the apples on then? That's a bit too big.
Look at that, ladies and gentlemen, Sir Lewis! But may I present to you the next line. Swords on battlefields. They were incredibly rare. Why? Because they are horrendously expensive. That is why. But of course, a myriad of other weapons. Spears, axes, and percussion weapons like this. The mace, ladies and gentlemen. And this particular mace has a name. These are known as nobblers. Anybody here ever been nobbled? That is what it is. This was the favourite weapon of the fighting clergy. Now, I haven't gone mad. 12th century, abbots would put on armour. They would go onto the battlefield and they would fight. But the church said, you must never use an edged weapon